So before we go ahead, I want to show you some of the pictures that people have been submitting. This is a fantastic pair by Alex. He is 8 years old. This is his dinosaur. Another fantastic picture. This is Sophia. She is 6. Another one by Alex. This was for our flower challenge. And a fabulous one by Nico. He is only 5 years old for our flower challenge. Well done, guys. Keep them coming. Good morning, everyone. So today I am going to be attempting to draw little baby Yoda. I thought I would draw something Star Wars themed. It's my hubby's birthday and he's a Star Wars nut. I've never tried to draw this one before. I'm not really majorly into Star Wars. That's probably a really bad thing to say, but I think it's super cute, so we're going to give it a go. So I have with me some crayons that I've got ready in the right colors that I thought I might need, and also a few marker pens. These are just from Paper Chase, but they're super nice. You can use whatever you have to hand. I suggest getting the colors out before, because 5 minutes is not really very long, and of course you can always take a bit longer to finish this up at the end if you were really enjoying it and you want to make it perfect. I'm going to use a brown there as well. Okay, so are you guys ready? 5 minutes. Let's begin. Okay, so we've got to get its head in super quick, and he's got these big ears. I think even bigger actually. You can barely fit him on the page. What makes this guy super cute is these massive ears and these massive eyes. So we want to make sure to keep that scale. Make sure we don't undersell it and make those too small. As always, we're using our pencil very, very lightly. We are going to make a few mistakes along the way, but we can just go right over it if we have got our pencil light enough. Okay, so it's got this kind of cloak he wears. You can't see the bottom of the body. Don't even know what it looks like under there. Maybe a pair of little skinny green legs. And these little cute fingers, look. Just 1, 2, 3 little green fingers. And on the other hand, 1, 2, 3. So is that about right, do we think? Little mouth, small nose. Make sure we have the outer green lip, and then it's got the orange in the middle. I'm going to add some wrinkles up there. I think the eyes are going to be the hardest bit. Not sure if you guys can hear that, but as always, we have a little bit of Power Rangers in the background. Okay. So far, my doggy's behaving himself today. I'm not sure that I'm going to have much time to get colour in on this. It's actually trickier than I thought it was going to be. Does that look like the shape of those eyes there? I'm not sure if they're really symmetrical, and then it's got this kind of shaded area around the top. So it's got a green bit of the eye, then a black bit in the middle, then a little bit of white light. We've got a green bit of the eye there, black middle, and a little bit of the white light. Does that look good enough for now? Let's give it a go. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get a lot of green in here. Not quite the right shade. Have I got a better one? Just a bit more bluey green. We only have 2 minutes left. This one needs sharpening. Nope, it's not working. Okay, let's get some of this in. Now, as this cute little guy seems to have his eyes looking upwards, what I might actually do later is add a little cupcake on his head with another piece of paper, and maybe I'll turn this into a birthday card. Now, And his ears are darker here. And then here a bit lighter on the inside. Ah, 1 minute left. Okay. Huh? Now, it's actually easier to fill in a lot of colour when you're in a hurry, when you have something that has a broader tip or a quick flow. So something like a crayon is actually really useful, or even a big paintbrush. You can go ahead, get some paints out and try this, rather than like a couple of little fine liners or delicate pens. I'm gonna get a couple of these little creases in there. Oh, these little green hands. Wrinkles. 11 seconds left. Whoa, that's 5 minutes. Okay, so I'm just going to go and grab my paintbrush, and then I might just add a little bit of water to this. Okay, so I've got my paintbrush, a little bit of water. Now, I could do with adding a bit more colour to this, really. I mean, it's not really got enough. But I'm going to go ahead and just do it anyway, with what we have, just so that you guys can see what can be achieved in 5 minutes. Even though it's not great. But it still looks like Baby Yoda, right? I mean, like I said, it could do with a bit more colour filling in. But we can also take time with the paintbrush to add a little bit extra. Look, we can add some extra creases in. Once you've loaded up your paintbrush, you've got a bit of that brown, and I can just add some of these little extra creases that I missed before. But if you've got yours to this stage and you think, oh, it would look so nice if I just took a bit of time to fill him in, then go ahead, take your time. We had some really nice artworks entered yesterday. I'm going to be adding those to the beginning of this video. If any of you guys have a great idea and you think, I would love to see Carly draw this and maybe we can draw it together, then please let me know. Has anybody got any suggestions? Is there a character you would love to draw? Maybe we could do that for the next video. You can also message me on Facebook. I have a page on Facebook called Carly Art, just the same as the YouTube channel, Carly Art. So you can send me a message on there. You can also send me your artworks and I will feature them on these videos. Okay. So I've got a couple of creases down here. Oh, I may have added a bit too much water there. Okay, let's get his little green hands done. Super cute little fingers. Okay, now this is a slightly darker brown. The dog's starting. Guys, can you turn Power Rangers down a little bit, please? Ozzy, turn it down a bit, please. feel like I'm living in a Power Rangers episode. Okay. So I'm just using some of this brown that I'm picking up here to just go back over and add these extra little creases. Now his head. Now it's a good idea if you have an area in your painting, if you're adding water to watercolor crayons like this or watercolor pencils, if you have an area which is very dark, so for example the darkest area here would be my eyes because they have black on them, then it's a good idea to leave that until last, because once you've added water to that black area, it's very difficult to stop it from smudging and dirtying the rest of your painting. So it's always a good idea to start with the lightest areas first and then slowly work up to your darker areas. So let's just add in all the green. I'm trying to avoid hitting that black too much. I've actually added some black over here already, so I've got to be a bit more careful with that. As you can see, look, it starts to turn everything else grey. Now he's got these orangey browny insides of his ears. I'm going to go back and do the same colours on the other side while my brush is already loaded up with orangey browns. So if I had more time, I would definitely add a bit more colour to this before starting the water process. And probably when it's dry, I would add some details with some of these marker pens. I didn't actually have a chance to use in the end, but I might do that a bit later when this is dry. And like I said, I might actually turn this into a birthday card. So if I do, I will take a picture and add that to the end of this video. This is bleeding a bit too much into the green. I'm just going to lift a bit of that off of there. Now I'm noticing that he's got these little ridges in his ears, which I didn't add on before, but I can just take a little bit of a darker colour like this. And I'm just going to add those little ridges in now with that colour on my brush. I can also take a little bit of this dark and just add a bit of extra shadows. Just going to take a bit from there, add these little creases in his ears. Now as I only did black on one side, I'm just going to lift some of that off. Just mirror that on the other side so that I have a more cohesive pattern. And what's super cute about this guy is he has these little tufty little hairs. So I might just use some of that black to just add a few of those in. I'm just stealing it from that side, look. I might just take a bit more. I've actually added a bit too much on that side. So you can just lift it off with your brush, upwards motions, and then you can just redistribute some of it elsewhere. I'm going to lift a bit more off, add it over there for a little bit of a shadow. Yeah, a bit of a shadow in his ears over here. Gosh, I really have a lot over there. I don't know why I put so much, but when you're in a little 5-minute panic, that's what happens. The trick is though, how can you work with what you've done? So now I have to be really careful when it comes to the black of the eyes, because we want to have nice sharp edges. This brush isn't actually very good at separating. I need to get some new paintbrushes. If only the art shops were open. Maybe I can place an order. I'll have to see. Okay. So I'm going to go really delicately around this bit, because we're not actually trying to achieve a blended effect here. We want a nice sharp edge. I can also achieve this with marker pens later on, so you don't have to achieve it all with one material. Sometimes the artworks look much more interesting if you use more than one material. Damn it, I can hear the rubbish truck outside. I forgot to put the bins out again. But whatever, we're drawing. Here we go. Now, I'm going to try and do the same thing on the other side. Now, eyes are difficult because you want them looking symmetrical, right? It's going to turn it round so my hand doesn't dirty everything that I've already done by resting on it. Now let's have a look at it back from the, no, not quite symmetrical, but let's see if we can adjust that a little bit. How's that looking? Now what I didn't do was I didn't do any dark green in the eye, which I completely missed off. So let's just add a little bit in there. Now it's not usually a very good idea to start adding dry back in when you've started with wet, but that bit of paper is dry enough that I can just about get that in there. So he's got a little bit of the white showing still on his eyes, so we don't want to fill that all up. Are fighting over the TV. Okay, now I just need to blend this a little better. Can you see how there's still a little bit of granular crayon around there? And I haven't done this little shadowy bit around his eyes. But I have to be very careful because that's near the black. Okay, I'm going to leave it there and go deal with my kids because I can sense that someone is about to start crying. And I might add a little cupcake to his head as a birthday cake. What do you think? And I will show you later if I decide to do that. Okay, bye-bye everyone. Show me what you do.